Hey guys, it's Marty here with Fix and Flip Hub. If you're seeing this video, it's because you registered and attended our webinar, How to Find Highly Profitable Fix and Flip Deals No One Else is Buying in Your Real Estate Market. And in this video, I wanted to show you how one of our live monthly coaching calls work. Hopefully you're considering applying for our Fast Track coaching program. And one of the benefits of enrolling in that program is you get to take part in our live monthly coaching calls. These happen the last Tuesday of every month in the evening, so you can be sure to be there and be available to attend these live calls. They're very informative, very helpful, very interactive, and you typically have between 8 and 10 students on these live monthly coaching calls. So you're not just going to be learning from us, you're going to be learning from other active investors from around the country. So it's a cool community of like-minded investors, and you're going to be learning about how they are managing their projects, how they're finding deals in their markets and selling their properties, as well as learning from us. So on these live monthly coaching calls, we do a supplemental training. It's usually about 15 to 20 minutes long, and then we open it up for questions. And like I said, we usually have 8 to 10 people on these calls, and we stay on them as long as is necessary to make sure every single person gets their question answered. And if you're relatively new to fixing and flipping, or maybe you've never done a fix and flip before, you can ask us questions about how to analyze your fix and flip deal, how to find deals in your market. Maybe if you don't have the funding, we'll help you put the money together or find the money in your market, whether it be a hard money lender or an equity partner. Even if you're experienced, like Carlos in this video, I'm going to show you here in a second, an excerpt from our live monthly coaching call last month. And Carlos, who's in our coaching group, he's fairly experienced. He's done about 5 or 6 fix and flips, and he's ready to expand his business and do multiple projects at the same time. Well, in the past, he'd been funding all his fix and flip deals with his own money, but now he wants to do a second project at the same time, and he doesn't have any more capital. So he had to go out and get a hard money loan and find an equity partner. So in this live coaching call, I'm going to show you here in just a second, this little excerpt from it. We walk him through the process of putting the fix and flip deal together without using any of his own money, and how to put all the legal documents together and get them recorded and work with the title company, and how the reporting of that investment works with the investor, his equity partner, and with the IRS. So it was a really cool interaction and exchange we had with Carlos, and it's just a very small example of how helpful and informative these coaching calls can be. So check this out.
I have a question, and I don't know if anyone else has a question, but if I can ask one more question.
No, go ahead.
So my son is actually going to lend. He's actually bringing the gap equity, I guess, to the project, and so I'm trying to figure out how to structure it. Whether I structure it as a secondary loan behind the hard money loan, so that way then, like, I don't get super taxed, right? Because at closing, I want to be able to pay off the hard money lender, pay him off. You know, so it doesn't look like I made $80,000 or $90,000, you know, because I have to pay him from the proceeds. So how do you structure that with your investors?
Okay, so good question. In our video course, in the Fast Track Flipping course, it's in Module 4, Finding Capital or Finding Money for Your Deal. There's a video, I think it's video 3 or 4, and I explain exactly how to do that. And the documents you're going to want to use for that, hold on a minute, they're in the Facebook group. So let me show you. Okay, there's if you go down to, let's see. Thought it was in here. See more here. Yeah. See here, there's a participation agreement and a promissory note.
Yes. Yeah.
You use in the video, I explain how to use these 2 documents together, but it's in Module 4. I think it's video 3 or 4 in the course. And then you use the participation agreement and the promissory note agreement together to put the gap funding or the equity investor in the deal. Now you're all papered up, right? For that.
Got it.
You could record like a mortgage and a note on the property in second position for your, you said it's your son?
Yes, exactly.
You could do that so he gets paid out of closing proceeds, or you could just have it be unsecured, and then after it closes, you just cut him a check, and then in your whatever bookkeeping or accounting software you use, you just it's just it's an interest expense, and you code it to the project. And then when you do your taxes at the end of the year, you know.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
And,
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, and you just work with your. That's easy to do with your accountant. You know.
And the last one, I mean, what Marty explained, you know, towards the end there, that's how when we first started, that's how we structured it all, like all unsecured promissory notes like that.
Yeah, because it makes sense to do it at the end because that could be a moving target, right? Because if I record it up front, then, you know, that amount of change.
Yeah, well, and you can, and also, Carlos, with what's cool about the participation agreement in the note is you can spell out the terms there. So like what we would do is we would initially when we started, it was 50-50 profit split or 12% interest, whichever was less. So, or I'm saying whichever was more. So they would get at least 12% return on their money. So if let's just say the project only made $6,000, then, you know, Manny and I would only get like $2,000 and they would get $4,000 because they were going to get 12% on their money no matter what. And then as we got more savvy, we're like, well, that sucks, you know? So we lowered it from, you know, 12 to like 4% or whatever. And then as we got better and more of a track record, we're like, well, we're going to do 70-30. And then eventually we just said, screw that. We're not doing any of it. You just give us all the money we need and we give you 8% or 10%, you know?
Got it.
So,
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Watch that video. Like I said, I think I know it's module 4. It's video 3 or 4. And then you'll in those videos, I referenced the note participation agreement, and you can find those right here in the Facebook group under the files tab. Yeah. And you can download those. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah, we have a lot of fun on these live monthly coaching calls. And no matter where you're at in the journey, if you're just learning how to fix and flip, you've never done a deal before in your life, and you need support with determining the market value of your house, doing comps or estimating the rehab budget, or maybe you're a little more experienced like Carlos and you've got some funding, but you want to expand your business, you want to learn how to raise capital and find investors, we can help you with that as well on these live monthly coaching calls. And we usually have between 8 to 10 students a month on these calls, sometimes a little more or less, but we spend as much time on these calls as necessary to get everybody's questions answered. And what's really cool is it's a community. So you're going to be learning not just from Manny and I, but you're going to be learning from other students from around the country based on the projects they're in the middle of working on. So it is a lot of fun. So if you haven't done so already, click the button below there at the bottom of your screen and apply for our Fast Track Coaching Program. We only have 10 spots open and they're filling up pretty quickly. So apply to that program, and within 24 hours, someone on my team is going to contact you to set up a call, and we're going to figure out if we're a good fit, if we work well for you, and we're going to be able to help you based on where you're at in the process and based on where you're at, what market you're in. We want to make sure this is a good fit for the both of us. So on this call, we're going to go through your application. Again, it only takes about 5 minutes to complete, and just make sure that this is a good fit for both of us and that you're going to have success and that we can help you in the Fast Track Coaching Program. So again, if you haven't done so already, click the button below, apply, and let's get started. You know, someone on my team will call you within 24 hours, and if it's a good fit and you're ready to go, we're going to hit the ground running. No wasting any time. As soon as you make the decision and we make the decision that it's a good fit, boom, we're going to get started, and we're going to help you find your first or your next fix and flip deal. So again, if you haven't done so already, click the button below. We only have 10 spots open, and they are filling up fast. So get on it, and we'll look forward to talking to you really soon.